Whenever people hear salary cap, they immediately think money. How much can you spend? Who getting paid? Who overpaid? Who underpaid? But that's only the surface. Because the salary cap for me, once I got into this space, is nobody's debating on who's getting paid, who underpaid, who overpaid. They're having real debates about priorities, like which position matters most. Because a personnel staff member views the roster in 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 their lens. A coach views it in their lens. The AD may say, "Man, we just gotta make sure that we don't blow the budget, right?" And then the salary cap guy or the cap manager or the rev share guy, all they're looking at it like, "Hey, these numbers gotta match up, and it has to be flowing like this. So we gotta protect it from this." So everybody's priority is different when it comes to the salary cap. When it comes to any type of cap, when it's dealing with paying athletes, and a lot of decisions are made that supersede the person who's actually over the cap. Like if someone says we don't have the budget, the money is low, that doesn't mean anything to the coach who's saying we got to win today. So the priorities for the coach is like, I got to win to save my job. The the rev share guy is like, I got to make sure I don't blow budget to save my job. Personnel guy is like, man, look, I just got to build the best staff, well, team, so I don't lose my job. Right? So everybody's making decisions from the cap based on the priorities that they currently live in. And when you don't understand everybody's level of decision making or what they're responsible for, you'll find yourself in a back and forth argument about something that has nothing to do with what's actually the problem, because the decisions are being made in honesty and intentionality, but it's made in the silo. I need this, so this has to happen. I need this, so this has to happen. And neither one of them are wrong, and neither one of them are making decisions selfishly. They're all thinking about what they have to do for the betterment of the team. But a cap to the outside world, it is arguments about, oh, you're restricting the payments to the athlete. I think it's more restrictive on the staffers than it is the athletes. Then once the athletes get paid, they get paid. But the people who gotta say yes or no are the ones who's going through all of the stresses, and they trying to figure out, was that the right decision? Did I use the resources properly? Will this blow back on me? Did I make a right choice? Should I have paid this person this and not this person? Damn, we probably should have kept this person here instead of, like, there are so many things that happen. All the athlete sees is, I just got my check. So when the outside world is arguing about the cap, it's not fair. I'm like, y'all have no idea what the the staff goes through, or the actual employees go through. And I think it's funny because it's not their job to know what they go through. But if you don't look at everything, you're gonna always make an argument from one side, and you're just making noise. Oh, athletes are getting short end of the stick because the salary cap is so restrictive. It's like, okay, restrictive. So imagine being the person who has to divvy up the restrictive money. Imagine the person who had to divvy up the low budget. You really think them getting a little bit of money is like stressful? The person that has to like satisfy the whole team. The person that has to answer the, why you gave me this much? I heard he got this much. And I'm like, you're you're having the right argument, but you're asking the wrong questions though. And everybody is like, oh well, the athlete deserve more. Well, the more you give, the more issues is going to come with that, because everybody who knows that there's more is going to want to spend more. So when I see salary cap, I'm just like, yeah, all right. It's not really a cap. It's really a box. because you about to start having a lot of people in this box arguing about their piece. I should get more. Football should get more. Basketball should get more. But what about Olympic sports? And to be the one to say, well, we're going to invest in this, not this. And we're going to invest in y'all, but this much. Well, why they getting this much? And it's like there's so many other debates and arguments and different viewpoints and priorities that happen. And I would hate to be a program that has a traditional blue blood sport, but you have to fund the sport that generates the most money. So you're a champion. Let's say you're a champion in baseball, but you got to fund the football team. You can't get a baseball team nothing. That's a hard conversation to have because the cap only says you got this much. Well, I can't pay the baseball team, the football team, and the women's and men's basketball team. So I'm sorry, baseball. Y'all not gonna get it because what it looked like in this era where everybody talk about the revenue sports, the revenue sports, which is football, it's football, men's basketball, women's basketball. What does it look like to the baseball team to cut the basketball and give the baseball? It's not like a normal thing. So when you talk about the cap, I don't even see it as a budget or you know who gets paid what. I'm looking at it like there's a lot of on priority that are about to get shook simply because there's not enough to go around. And even if you get more, the more money you get, the more you're gonna want to put into the thing that you're investing in. So it ain't about getting more money. It's finding more ways to generate money for this specific vehicle that you, you didn't think about using. And it's funny. Um, I think about a lot of those teams like on the East Coast who are traditional basketball, but they got football too. And you want to fill the stadium up, so you got to invest in football. But this is a basketball school. What do you do? And the cap is great. Hey, the cap is solid, but not enough to go around. So I think about the cap. I think about priorities. I think about decisions. I think about who's going to be the final decision maker because that's the one who's going to control how everything flows. Everybody has that with a voice, but who's the final decision maker? And believe it or not, is 9 times out of 10 not the person you think. The person with the most influence will have the decision, not the title. It don't matter what title you have. In this era, the person with the most influence and the most proximity to the investment vehicle that we want to put money into is going to be the one that has the final say. So the cap this is there. It don't matter how big or how small it is somebody's going to feel like I ain't get mine, and then somebody's going to say you shouldn't have got all of it. You should have got none of it, right? So it's just one of those things, and I think it's a cool situation to be in because you get to see conflicts and resolutions, and you get to see like collaborations. You get to see professionals really work through things. But at other programs, you get to also see, nah, I don't care what y'all got going on. You truly get to see it is 17, 18, 15 different sports, and everybody's fighting for their sport. So every team, every school is different based on how they use the cap, how they view the cap, how they prioritize what they're going to do with the cap. And the outside world is arguing about who got paid the most and who underpaid and who overpaid. Like that argument is going to keep y'all going in circles. Because even if it was a $1 billion budget, somebody gonna say I didn't get my money.